Jimmy here again with the summer reading program's Quilters Show and Tell. Today we have with us another quilter, Miss Brenda. And Brenda, welcome to our show and tell.
Thank you very much.
And I think you're a member of the club here, the Quilters Guild.
I am. We are known as the Stitch Show and Share Quilt Guild here in Sparta. We meet the third Saturday of every month at the First United Methodist Church and back in the basement at 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter what level of quilting you do. If you're a beginner, just wanting to be, or very experienced, everybody starts somewhere. So we take you in, and if you need help, we'll help you, and we have a really good time. We have a good group of women that are not condescending, so you would be most welcome.
Well, that's good to hear. And I'm sure there's people that will be showing up. So you've brought some beautiful quilts to show us today, and let's get right into this new, first one here. And it looks like something that you have created and made butterflies.
I did. This was for my mother, and she loves butterflies. And unfortunately, I did not have enough hankies of my grandmother's to use. And so these are actually store-bought. I got them all from different Mennonite stores. Brand new. You can still buy them. They're very reasonable.
So
it's a way of getting their hankies, and
okay.
It's a way of getting that look without if you don't have your grandmother's things. So you can make it as hard or as easy as you want it to be. You start out with all the blocks, the background color, being of the same size. I think this might be either 10 by 10 or 10 and a half by 10 and a half. Basically, you want it big enough because all hankies are not the same size.
No.
You want it to be able to have enough, and you can point them any way you want. They can be straight up, like this, or they can be flying different directions. It's just your choice. So basically, my advice, if you're going to do this, is to take your hankies and pre-wash them, because you don't want them to shrink later.
Right.
And then starch them and lay them out, get them nice and flat, which this one's not, but this is just for demo. And then you take your hanky and you fold it in a triangle. And we're not on a flat surface, so it's going to be hard to show you. But anyway,
okay.
You're going to kind of create you the body and the tail section.
I understand.
And they don't have to be all exactly the same size. Now, if you go on YouTube or something like that, there's all kinds of tutorials that show you how to fold it and measure and all this. And I'm more of a freelance person. I don't like a lot of details. I like to do my own thing.
And that's what makes
it. So I just basically folded them, and you want to pin it down. I would iron it flat again, and then you want to, if you want to machine stitch around, then you can. But one of the things my grandmother taught me that I still know how to do, which is not much, but is the blanket stitch.
Yes.
So I picked out different colors of embroidery floss. I think I used 2 skeins, 2 threads, to do it. And so this is kind of a red at the bottom. I would probably pick that, and I did the body first. So I went around the body and secured that down. And then you'll want to pin your wings out different ways. And then I went and did the rest of it. And the little antennae, I just freehanded, with a pencil, and or you can do the disappearing Frishon, is that how they're pronounced? Maybe pins, something like that. Anyway, and then I did just a simple stitch to do that with. And then this happens to be a more complicated border. I can't say I would do that again. It was not easy for me. But you could just do a regular sashing. So it's just, it's the limit. It's whatever you want to do to,
yes,
So
I understand. So what did you use for the lining now? It's just a regular
I just use
contrasting
pink. Yeah, just pink that I,
yes. And that made it look great.
that I had.
And then the
I
gray.
got third place on this one at our quilt,
Well,
show.
that's great. And then,
I did the
bound it
gray.
with the gray.
Yeah.
It
for
made a
the
beautiful
binding.
quilt, Brenda.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I rather like it.
We're back with Brenda again with another quilt. This one is a beautiful beige and brown. So tell us a little bit about this one, Brenda.
Well, this one I did for my husband, and it is a Dresden plate pattern. Now, there are many different variations of Dresden plate, big, small, some are rounded edges. You know, there are many out there. This one happens to be from Eleanor Burns' Egg Money quilt book.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, so it's each little piece is separately. It is time consuming, but it has a beautiful effect. My husband's grandfather grew sunflowers, so therefore the sunflowers. And there again, it's done like that, the hanky quilt we just shown. You pick out what size of block you want it to be on. You can prize this first, the sunflower or the flower, Dresden plate, and then you applique it down. And it's got some fabulous quilting on it, but I did not do that. I hired the long armor to do that. So anyway, and there again, I did something like a checker, you know, sashing, but you can do whatever you want, just a solid piece.
And then you went to the
I went with the scalloped edges
scallop edges.
because I wanted that, and I just think it added to it, and it made it fit on the bed really pretty. And I just used a, you know, contrast as kind of a prairie looking pattern, you know, something
you
simple.
stayed within the shades, and then you bound it with the same material that
Yes,
yes.
yeah.
Well, again, Brenda, this is a beautiful one.
Thank you.
We're here with Brenda again, and Brenda, you have got another beautiful quilt here. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, this one was class that I took, and it's called the Chandelier Quilt because of the little danglies. And I believe the pattern I know it came from a book, and I think it might have been called Charm Pack School, something like that. And it's on point, so you think everything goes like this, but it does not. This is one block. Down here is one block, one block, one block, and then it gets bigger with another series of blocks until you end up back down the corner. And then you've got half square triangles that piece in the corners and down here, and that's what fills in that gap.
Okay.
And I'd never done something like that. The pattern itself was not too difficult, but when you are angly challenged, you know, and I get mixed up, so I had to really watch my diagram and be careful as to how I laid it out, or it would have been boo-boo. But this one was a lot of fun.
You don't go to the wall and hang.
I do have, yes, I do have a, you don't have to have a fancy display board, you know, wall board. I just have a flannel sheet that I've tacked up there.
And it works.
Yes, and that sometimes they'll stay, and sometimes I just pin it. But still, again, you know, by the time you do that, and you look back at your blocks, and your diagram and everything, you can, you know, I always have to rip something out. So, you know.
So I saw a beautiful.
I found a piece of fabric that I thought was just simply, was not part of this line. I believe this was art gallery fabric. I don't remember what this was, but I loved it. So that's what we did.
And then you bound it.
And then I bound it with some, yes, that had a little sheen to it. And this was for my daughter, and I've not got the sleeve so she can hang it up. But if you have animals, when you hang something up, it becomes, yeah. So, yeah.
It's another beautiful quilt.
Well, thank you.
We're seeing a lot of beautiful quilts, and we want to thank you for coming by, Brenda.
Thank you.
And being part of our show and tell. And we'll be looking forward to seeing the quilts during our session. We want to thank you again for this, and always remember our programs that are going on now, and if you are interested in quilting, these ladies will take you over there and teach you everything they know, and we have books here at the library that will help you also. So just come in or give us a call, and we'll get in contact with you and get you into quilting.